Okay guys, as promised, I'm doing makeup for my camper. I'm so stupidly giddy right now because I can't even tell you how much. You're probably going to get tired of hearing me say how much I love being at camp, but I don't care. It's the truth and I can't help it. All right, so I have my little foldable mirror that I use when I am camping here in front of me, and I thought I'd show you. I ended up, all my brushes are in this case. This is all of the makeup that I brought that you saw in my Shop My Stash for camping, and then this is the palettes. So we are just gonna go ahead and get into this. I've got my coffee, we'll have a little chat, we'll speed through some stuff so it doesn't take, you know, forever, and go from there. So let me get all set up and then we'll get going. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay Under the Palms palette today because it's got these gorgeous oranges and greens. I can't tell what you're seeing. I did a little test to make sure I was in frame because usually at home there's a mirror behind my, because I film with my iPhone, and I can see myself in the mirror to tell what is in frame, like what I'm showing as far as a palette and stuff. So this is a little different because I don't have that, so we'll just see what happens. But at least you should be able to see me. Exciting. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. I already put my eyeshadow primer on, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. It's my go-to. The products that I brought are pretty much my go-tos. So that is kind of what we're working with here. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like a little orange and gold number. Notice the earrings. Yes, from my beautiful cousin Debbie. My little campfire earrings, so appropriate for camp. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to like show the colors because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them in frame. Maybe I can. You might catch all sorts of, you know, the camper stuff in the mirror. That's fine. But I'm just going to go into first. Yeah, let's get orangey with it. Let's not. I mean, why not? Let's not. So let's go into, I'm going to go in the crease first. So let me get a different brush. Let's go into this most orangey shade here, which is actually called Summer. And again, I apologize if I am trying to show you something and you're not actually seeing it and you're like, Danielle, I can't even see what you're showing me because I can't really tell. So it's like a fun little game we're gonna play. But today is Monday, before camp. Camp starts on Thursday. My husband and I got here on Saturday. So we got here like Saturday evening. We got set up and we ate dinner. We had sushi that we got from Sam's Club. Sam's Club sushi is dang good, you guys. And so we had sushi in the trailer, and then we went for a walk all around camp. And we love, like, every day that we're here, we walk camp like a few times, and it's a pretty big place. But we just absolutely love it. It's so peaceful, and of course right now, because there's not like anybody here because camp doesn't start till Thursday. I mean, there's a few people, but not many. And so we did that, and when we were walking, we discovered something that we knew our youngest son was going to freak out about. He's the only one now who still is up here for the whole time, so he'll be coming up. He's actually coming up on Wednesday. My middle son will bring him up, and we'll have dinner together and stuff, which my husband's making crunch wraps on the Blackstone. Ooh, I can't wait. But anyway, Asher is a basketball kid. Like, he eats, sleeps, breathes basketball. And so there is like this big barn here in the youth area where they always have done all the basketball stuff, but it's not ideal. Like, the rafters for the barn sometimes get in the way, like when you're shooting from the side and stuff like that, and it gets really hot in there. And so when they do like their tournaments and stuff, you can't really watch because you just have to stand like in the openings where like the barn doors open to be able to see, so not everybody can kind of watch, and it's just not ideal. Well, when we went for our walk on Saturday when we got here, we got to like the one back corner where there's like one of the like the middle school age kids, their building is back there, and they put in a full court basketball, like a full basketball court, and like cement, you know, and super nice hoops and stuff, like awesome. So Brian was like, okay, it's a little bit dark. He was trying to take pictures to be able to send to Asher, but it was like getting kind of dark, so you couldn't see real good. And so he's like, tomorrow I'm gonna FaceTime him and show him this because I know he's gonna freak out. So yesterday when we went for a walk, our first walk, because we went for two, we went back there and he FaceTimed him and showed him. So he's so excited because now too, we'll be able to go and take our chairs back there and sit around the court and watch when they do their tournaments and stuff. So that will be super awesome. So excited about that. If you hear a lot of noise, well, for one thing, I can hear my ice maker is running right now, but I shut my fan off, so it might end up getting a bit of toasty in here for me. I actually got up early this morning and shut the air off because it was getting a little chilly in here. So, but I had my fan running, but I'm like, that will be very loud while I'm trying to record. So I shut that off, so it might get a little toasty in here. But other than that, noise going on, they have tractors that pull some trailers out of storage, so they're pulling trailers out and getting them on lots, and so it's been a little noisy around here this morning from that. So if you hear loud vehicle noise, that's what that is. They may end up doing some mowing too, I'm not sure, but so that's what's going on there this morning. So yesterday we just enjoyed the day. We got up, my husband made breakfast. Oh, we had eggs and bacon and corned beef hash. So dang good. And the corned beef hash on the Blackstone, it was like perfectly crispy. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then we played a game. We went for a walk. We came back. What did we do? I think we must have played a game again. No, we ate. We went for a walk. We came back. We played a game and had like a little snack. And then we were just hanging out in here, like whatever. I think he was playing some sort of Sudoku or something on his. Is that how it is? Sudoku, right? I said Sudoku. I don't know. On his phone and stuff. We were just like chilling in here because it rained. So, and then we made dinner, and then we were sitting outside, and then one of our friends got here with his son to set up their trailer. They're our friends who camp right behind us, like our trailers back up to each other. And so we were talking to them for a while, and then and so I have to tell you. So we're standing talking to them, and this guy who is like over from us a little ways, and he's here every year. Let me see, where's another brush? I think I will take this brush right here, and now I'm gonna just go into like this brown shade right here and kind of buff above it. He, like, people have kind of said things before because he is here by himself, which is fine. I mean, obviously some people are by themselves. But he will just stand and like stare at people sometimes, and he makes people feel kind of uneasy. And, you know, people have tried to talk to him and stuff, and he's not like very friendly. You know, like you're thinking, oh, maybe he's just, you know, lonely or something. Like, you know, obviously you want to make everybody feel comfortable. And so, you know, people have tried talking to him and stuff, and he's not super friendly. Like, he's kind of grouchy. Like, he's complained about stuff with people's kids and stuff, which is funny because this place is crawling with kids. There's like 1,000 kids here when everyone's here. And so, like, you can't really, I mean, they're literally everywhere. And, you know, just, it's like, people have made attempts to, like, try to, you know, befriend him, kind of, or whatever. I just totally spit llama. And it's just, he doesn't, I don't know. I'm going to go back into that orange and bring it up a tiny bit. But, so we're standing here talking to our friend and his son, which his son is a year older than my oldest son, Gavin, but they are really close friends. And he's actually getting married in February, and then my son's getting married in, I think, August. They haven't actually set their date yet for next year, but somewhere in there. And so that guy just comes out and stands and is staring at us. So my friend said, you know, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I in your way? Like, because his truck was parked over, you know, a little ways because he was getting his trailer set up. And he's like, you know, I can move it in just a minute. Sorry, I didn't realize there was anybody else here trying to get, you know, whatever. And the guy's like, no. And just stood there and kept looking at us. And we're like, okay. And then he just turned around and walked away. So, like, wasn't just like, oh no, I just wanted to say hi or something. You know what I mean? Like, he was just standing there staring at us. And so that's my, you know, friend thought, oh, maybe I'm in his way. Like, he's annoyed or something. Because he was looking at us in a way that was like we're disturbing him somehow or something. And, but yeah, no, nothing. And then he just walked away. And so we're like, okay. So last night I was saying to my husband, because I'm like, I don't, like, it just sort of like weirded me out. And I mean, again, he might be completely harmless. He might just, who knows what the situation is, but he makes people feel uneasy. And so, my husband is working today and tomorrow. And so I knew that, like, I would be left here without a vehicle and stuff. I'm totally fine with that. And like today, the place is crawling with, you know, people that are working to get trailers put in and different stuff like that work on the grounds. And so it's not like I'm here by myself anyway. But my husband left at like 5:30 this morning, you know. So I got up when he got up, or when he was leaving, I got up so I could lock the door behind him when he left. But then I'm laying there like weirded out because when I opened the door when my husband was leaving, I looked out and I can see that guy's truck is there, so he spent the night here too. So I'm like, oh, he's here. Actually, I see him driving by right now. But I was like, I don't know, it just gave me an uneasy feeling. So then I came back in here and I couldn't fall back asleep. I was having such a hard time because I was like just thinking about like that he's over there and now I'm here by myself and whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh. At least it was already starting to get light and stuff, because I think if it was dark I'd be sort of creeped out. But okay, let me see. I think I'm gonna go into the crease again with like a little bit darker brown, like into the crease, not puff it out like I did. So I will go into this dark brown right here. I didn't tell you the other names. This one's Explore. Naked is the light color that I used up here. But yeah, so I just had myself a little bit creeped out because I do that. And I watch a lot of true crime, so I definitely do that. Because we're so weird. So we had watched an episode of Dateline actually Saturday night before we went to bed. And actually we had it on while we were playing games. And so, oh, that's right, because we were playing Racco and having coffee on Saturday night. I don't know. I get confused, especially at camp, because we like play games and we go for walks and we play games and we, you know what I mean? Like I can't keep track of the order we do things in. Not that you care, but whatever. And so yeah, we had Dateline on, like on YouTube, whatever, while we were sitting playing games, because I was like, we usually do music, but we were like, let's have some background noise. And so when we were going to bed, well, and it was, of course, they're always awful because someone dies. So my husband said to me yesterday when we went for a walk, he's like, I keep thinking about that episode of Dateline last night, because it was a girl who was killed in her dorm room by her boyfriend, actually. And he's like, what do you think would happen, like, if, say, somebody killed us here at camp before camp starts? Do you think they'd cancel camp? Like, because it would be like a crime scene and like whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we were sort of like laughing about it. But then that was before, or no, it was after that guy had come over and was just staring at us and stuff. And so then I said to him last night, I'm like, oh great, now you've got my overactive imagination going, because I was like thinking about how he was going to go out. I was going to get in the shower last night and he was going out to put our awning up, because I didn't want it out while he's gone, because I can't do it by myself to put it back up. And if like it got windy or a storm blew in or something, like you can't have your awning down like that. And so I was like, oh, are you going to go out and put up the awning tonight instead of in the morning? I'll, you know, whatever. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in the shower. And I said, now I'm thinking, I'm in the shower, you're outside, you know, putting the awning up. That guy comes over and like kills you. And then I think it's you coming in the trailer, and I come out from the shower and it's him. And he's like, oh my gosh. So this is like how, you know, our brains get going, which is probably why I couldn't fall back asleep for a long time this morning. It took me like over an hour after he left to fall back asleep. And then this poor man, like, the man is probably fine. He probably just is a little bit maybe socially awkward, and it just comes across weird, you know? Because like I said, he's been here every year. I mean, for as long as I can remember. This is our 15th year here. So, I mean, we weren't in this spot. Well, we've been in this spot for 13 years. But 13 or 12? I think 13. Ooh, 13. See? No, I'm just kidding. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're being weirdos. But, yeah. Okay, so on the lid, I think I'm just gonna do like a, which one do I want to do? I think I'll do this, like, kind of orangey gold right here, which is called Bucket List. That was something hilarious yesterday, too. We were talking about, because we were going for a walk, and my friend's like, well, you guys, I don't want to keep you from your walk, whatever. We're going to just finish getting set up here and we're leaving and whatever. So, he's like, oh, are you guys trying to close rings or something? On like our Apple Watches. And we're like, oh no, we already went for a walk. Like those are already closed anyway. And he's like, oh, and Brian's like, no, we just want to, or he goes, I just want to exercise. It's something I've been wanting to do at some point in my life or something. And so we're like laughing, and so I'm like, it's on your bucket list to exercise at least once. And so whatever, we were laughing about that, but I can't remember where I was going with that. I just had a total loss of what I was gonna say. Shocking. There was something that made me think of. I don't even know now. Imagine that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this here. And you guys, seriously, the randomness, you're used to it if you're from around here. If you're not, hi, I'm Danielle, and I come up with random stuff. My husband calls me worst case scenario girl, so that is where I get my, and like I said, I watch a lot of true crime, so I'm always like, these scenarios of things, like, well, this could happen, and this, and my husband's like, really, Danielle? But I'm like, well, it's true, could. Okay. I think, maybe I'm gonna take that dark brown again. No, not dark brown. I'm gonna take the orange and just go right here, kind of buff out where I just put that. And it got on my face, so I'm gonna go wipe it off before I go to my face makeup, which is why I like to do my eyes first, because that particular shimmer I did definitely has fallout, which if I had been thinking I already know that, I would have put, I would have just held some tissue under my eye right here, or a napkin or something. But actually I'm gonna go back into that brown real quick and just darken up there again after the shimmer that I put on. Yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about the bucket lists. Like exercising being on his bucket list. I don't know. There's that. But yes, we love walking around, and just, there's a lot of like little cabins here that are super cute. You have to get on like a waiting list. And then I think like a friend of ours was telling us yesterday, they have been on it for years, and they just finally started getting where they're being notified if something becomes available, because they only like notify like the top 20 people on the list at a time. And because we walk around and look, because there's some super cute places, and we're like, it'd be really cool, because we hope to have like our kids and grandkids and stuff be coming here, every year, eventually. And it'd be cool to have kind of a permanent spot that's a little bigger, where you could have your whole family gather. And so, yeah, that's like something we've kind of like thought about, and my husband and I would totally come here, because it's like 40 minutes from our house. So it's a place we could come to on weekends and stuff in the summer and the fall and spring and whatever, and yeah, so I don't know, it's just kind of a cool thought. So we like to walk around and kind of dream about that. Like, I have a mug that says we're going to be really cool old people, and it's totally true, because we already like are, well, I guess to some people we are old people, but not really, but yeah, I don't know, it's just the simple things in life. I am a very simple, I'm a very content person, and simple things make me feel very content. Like, I'm just, yeah, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna get this off my face, and then I'm gonna kind of just do my face makeup. You'll see it, but I'm gonna speed through it and play music to it so that it won't take a really long time.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pit on my love life, sending no rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. You're stronger.
Okay, let's go ahead and finish up these eyes. So I'm going to do on the lower lash line, I'm going to do that dark brown again, Explore. I'm like cracking up. I have like a lot of my blinds closed, just some so I can see out and I don't feel like I'm in a dungeon, but I didn't want, like, right next to me right here is like our huge window. And I was like, I think it would mess up the lighting anyway, but also I don't really want to be on display for, because people are gonna be like, what is that chick doing? She's talking to herself and putting makeup on. So yeah, I decided, you know, I'll just go ahead and leave that closed for now. Like I said, I think it would mess up the lighting anyway. But then my one huge window on the end of the camper, I also have that one, the blind still closed, because I was like, yeah, I don't need, like, to feel like a weirdo. I already feel like a weirdo most of the time, so, you know, I'll give myself a little break. I'm gonna go ahead then and take the orange, but I do have my little tiny window over my sink is open, so that summer shade, and the little tiny window at the end of my slide out. I'm sitting in our slide out right now, like our dinette and a couch is in our slide out in our wardrobe. So there's a little tiny window at the end of that, and then one on the side that I have those blinds open so that I can kind of see out and see stuff that's going on, which has been a little bit distracting sometimes, because every time I see like a vehicle or like a tractor with a trailer, I'm like looking, but you know, I'm not used to having all that extra stuff to look at when I'm doing my makeup or recording or whatever. Okay. And then in the inner corner, we'll just go ahead with this lighter one up here, which is called No Regrets. No regrets. That's always what I think when I see no regrets. Like the dumb tattoo spelled wrong kind of thing. No regrets. I can't imagine. Okay, first of all, the guy who did my tattoo, which I can't wait, August 28th. My sisters and I are going for our sisters' tattoos. I cannot wait. But he and I, when I was getting this one here, we're talking about bad tattoos, and because I'm sure as like I think about like hairstylists and stuff have to cringe at so many people's hair, mine included, and you know, whatever, when it's something that you do all the time, but at least that's temporary, right? Because hair grows back, or you can change the color or whatever. But I'm like, oh my gosh, for tattoo artists, I'm like, it has to be killer for you sometimes, like seeing bad tattoos on people. He's like, it is bad. And he's like, it's like people don't research stuff. And that's what I was saying, because I'm like, I know so many people who don't have good tattoos, and they'll keep going back to the same person and getting tattoos that are not good. And I'm like, there's a ton of tattoo artists out there. Like, do your research, especially nowadays with between, like, Instagram is a great place to look and be able to see people's work. If people do not have like a portfolio kind of thing like that, like where you can go and see their work, I wouldn't go get a tattoo from them, because that's weird. You know, they should be proud of their work and want to show it to you, you know what I mean? So I mean, Facebook, there's a lot of places where people display their work. But also, he was saying, he's like, and it's not just looking and seeing like, oh, this tattoo looks good that they did. He's like, are they consistent? Are they consistently good? Because do you want to be one of the ones that was like on an off day kind of thing? Like, you know, a good artist is consistent. I'm going to tightline my upper lash line and not make you guys watch it, because I did that in a recent video and I'm sorry. So I won't make you watch that again. Okay, and that was with the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in But First Espresso. And then I'm gonna line my waterline. I haven't used this yet, so I thought I'd use it now. It's the LA Girl Shockwave liners. These are so awesome too. This is one of the metallic ones. I've got several of the neon ones, but this one's a metallic one, and it is in gold metal. And I thought it would be good to go with this eye look. But yeah, like a consistent artist. And he's like, and people should be honest with you about what their, you know, best type of work is. Like, some people do very good line work, like very detailed, very good with straight lines and doing things like that. Some people do not. Some people are good with, you know, like writing, you know, text, I guess it is, whatever, you know, words and stuff. And some people are not. Script, I guess is what you call it, right? And then, you know, some people are good with like realism. Some people are much better with more of like a cartoon or like abstract kind of stuff. That's what you need to look. And he's like, and an artist should tell you if they know that they're not good at something, you know, like they should be honest with you about, that's not my strong suit, because you're putting this on your body for the rest of your life, you know? And, well, for the most part. Oh, I like this because it's very subtle. And it's like almost a perfect match to that color I put in my inner corner. But like, I so appreciate him and the way he describes things, and the fact, like, he's like, I know what I'm good at. And he's like, I don't want to sound like a cocky jerk, but like, there are certain things that I know I'm good at, but then there's stuff that I know I'm not. And I'm like, no, that's not being cocky. You're confident in your craft. You're talented. And that's good. You should be confident. I don't want an artist who's not confident in what they do. But in the same, you know, respect, I'm glad that you would say, like, I'm not as good at this, you know, or whatever, like, which I haven't seen anything that he does that isn't good, but, you know, he knows the things he feels the most confident in, and I respect that. As an artist, I think that you should, it's in anything in life, be honest about the things that aren't your strong suit, because when people try to act like, you know, they know something or are good at something they're not, you set yourself up for embarrassment and failure. And like, you know what I mean? There's certain things, obviously you should always try new things, and it's great to have confidence that, like, you know what, I think I can do that. But then, like, if you do it and realize, that's not really my thing, don't tell people it is. You know what I mean? Like, just like, I don't know. I just always think that's a weird thing when people lie about stuff. My husband and I were talking about that the other day about lying and why people lie. And my nose is running. So hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. But like, why do people lie? Like, we know why people lie. People lie out of like an insecurity. It's trying to make yourself appear to be something or someone you're not. And that comes from insecurity, because if you're secure about who you are, you don't need to lie, you know? And, but like, the weird thing is, you might be able to fool people for a while, or like when you first meet people, or, you know, if it's somebody you're not going to be around really or whatever, for them to actually get to know you. But what so many liars don't realize is the only person they are lying to really is themselves, because everyone knows they're a liar. Like, we all know those people who you're like, oh geez, like they have a story for everything. They're, you know, they know how to do all these things that you know full well they don't. They tell you things that like other people say or do that you're like, I know that person and I guarantee that did not actually happen. Like, you know, we all have those kind of people, and it's like, it's sad because like, I'm embarrassed. I'm a very empathetic person, and I get embarrassed for people very easy. Like, oh my gosh, I can't stand when somebody's in an embarrassing situation. I like feel for them. And sometimes for people who don't know enough apparently to feel for themselves, that they're, I guess if you felt embarrassed, you wouldn't keep lying, right? But it becomes like a sickness. For some people, it's that's just part of who they are. They've done it for so long. They don't know how to just be truthful. And it's so hard because it makes them such unreliable people. Like, you don't really believe anything they say, even though there might be some great value in certain things that they say. It's like you don't find it, because you're just thinking like, is this another one of those things that they just are making up? You know what I mean? Like, and so like with that, like I think about, you know, a tattoo artist or something. If they're telling people they're great at something, well, you're going to find out once it's already on your body and looks terrible. Like, you know, if they're not actually good at it. And so definitely something to majorly research an artist and see a lot of their work, and, you know, get to know, like, he literally is the only person I'll ever go to for tattoos, because I have two other ones. One I don't mind, the one on my foot, but I'll probably have him touch it up at some point. But the first tattoo I ever got is terrible. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just, it's not something I want, but it's not good work. You know, it was something out of a book. It wasn't an original thing. It actually still is the one on my foot, but yeah, he is like phenomenal at what he does. So I'm super excited, because I know, like, when I go to get my sister's tattoo, I'm gonna love it. And so yeah, super excited about that. And once again, we have gone into random things. We've talked about camping and murder and tattoos and lying, and yeah, I don't know. But don't be a liar. If you're somebody who catches yourself trying to embellish on things to sound more impressive, you don't. Everyone knows. Everyone around you knows you're making stuff up. And they aren't telling you, but behind your back, they're all going, oh, geez. Like, that's so awful. And I hate that for people. Like, I hate knowing. And, you know, it's like it takes a level of relationship with someone to be able to talk to them about that, to be honest with them, that, you know, you do this and people notice. And it, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't want people to be that way. Like I said, there are people in my life, but I don't have a relationship with them where I feel like I could do that. But there are people in their lives that could and should be doing that, because it's like, you know, like if it was one of my sisters or like my family members, like my mom or somebody, you know, whatever, if they were doing that, I would go to them. You go to them in private. You don't do it in front of people to embarrass them, like that kind of thing. But to let them know, like, I know you probably don't mean to be doing this. Like, I think at this point it's become just a habit, like part of something you do, but it discredits you to people. It makes people like think less of you, because it does. Lying makes people think less of you. It's doing the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. You're trying to seem impressive and make people be like, wow, they do this or they know that or blah, blah. What it's actually doing is making people go, okay. Like, it's doing the exact opposite of what someone's trying to do when they're lying. So that was my little, my husband and I had a very, very in-depth conversation about this yesterday, because I'm like, I don't get it. I said, the only thing I can think of that, like, I lie sometimes is, like, say in a scenario, and this video might be really long, but listen, kids, I'm just talking to you while we're in the camper chat. You know, is when, like, you're having a discussion or, you know, conversation with somebody and they're saying, yeah, over on whatever street or whatever road, you know, and, like, you know, and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah. And then afterwards I'm like, I don't know where that is. Why did I say yes? Like, whatever. But I think because I told my husband, I go, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, because it's not really that relevant to the story. Like, I don't really need for them to describe to me where the street is. So I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. You know, kind of thing. But then I'm like, but then it makes me feel weird after, because I'm like, why did I say yeah? Because no, I don't know where that is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But, like, stuff like that, I think, like, we all do weird little things like that. Like, it's just kind of like it's not relevant to the situation. Oh, I didn't put lip stuff on. Here's my Becca Brilliant or Glow Gloss in Champagne Kiss, I think. Champagne Cream. But yeah, like, I just don't get lying. I don't get it. Like, it just puts you in a position now where you have to keep up that story in your mind so that you don't screw it up somehow by telling the truth. Like, why in the world would you want to live like that, where you're, like, always worried that somebody might find out that, like, no, she wasn't there, or, you know, whatever. Like, I just don't get it. Anybody? Weigh in down below. Like, do you have any chronic liars in your life, or do you catch yourself sometimes just, like, embellishing on things? And it's not, like, something to embarrass people. Like, when I'm saying this, like, I'm not like, that person's a liar, like, and I do hate lying, don't get me wrong, because it's damaging. It's never a good, healthy thing. But I don't mean like I hate liars. I think it's sad that people feel like they need to lie about things and can't just, like, be themselves, and, you know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like you need to be impressive to people? That's sad to me. Like, I don't really care if people find me impressive or not. Like, this just gives you a lot of, like, stuff to carry with you, that you always have to be, like, worried about, you know, feeling impressive. I don't get it. There's so much pressure to put on yourself. Why do people do that? Like, you know, you are who you are. And if there's going to be people who like you, there's going to be people, I cannot speak. There's going to be people who like you. There's going to be people who don't. That's life. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to have everyone like you. Like, why would you even care? Like, are there people that you see that you're like, that's not really my jam? Like, that's not somebody I'd want to hang out with, or whatever. Like, okay, that doesn't mean you're a jerk. It's just you don't have a connection to that person. So in the same way, other people might not have that connection to you, and that's okay. Like, so to try to create yourself to be somebody, or to know certain things, or whatever, to try to make yourself impressive to people, it's just such a waste of time, and just discredits you to all the other people around you and the people who know you best. And so, yeah, I don't know. That just really got a little deep there, but that's just what I do sometimes. So I hope that that's okay with you guys. I think it is, because you guys, we usually have, like, some really good discussions. So, like I said, yeah, give me some comments down below if you want, you know, to chat about that. And so this is my look for today at camp. And I might record again tomorrow, since I'll be here by myself again for the day. So maybe we'll see, and who knows what we might come up with tomorrow. But I'll make it a shorter video, I promise. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.